All right, shalom. First, I start by saying all praise to Yahweh Shema Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth sincerity. Now, this is a quick little update on what's going on in Chicago. It says here comes Trump just sent his strike force to Chicago, and they've been talking about this for the longest. Not to mention that they already had the National Guard down there. They had military down there doing test drills, flying like the helicopters and so on and so forth. But now they calling in the task force, the ATF. But yeah, here you go.
Well, here it comes. Donald Trump just sent his strike force into Chicago. Danny Gold, Liberty Writers News, he reports, he says, well, guys, he's gone and done it again. Donald Trump promised just a week ago that he was going to, quote, send in the feds to Chicago, and here they come. Today, Donald Trump ordered the ATF to send a special task force from Washington, D.C. of 20 top agents to form the new Chicago Crime Guns Strike Force. Listen, that's amazing.
Straight from the White House. They're gonna lock Chicago down real soon, man. And that shit gonna trickle everywhere, man. They already got the police militarized.
Can you believe that? Holy cow! This is, man. Rahm Emanuel must feel so stupid right now. He says, quote, this is actually a very significant increase in ATF presence, who previously only had 40 agents in the Chicago area. They write here that the move came as a total surprise to Mayor Rahm Emanuel, who said he welcomed President Donald Trump's move and even asked for more FBI and DEA agents to join in the fight. Of course, Rahm Emanuel, I think that's a cover statement. He knows the chess game.
Yeah, so you see the Lord not playing, man, because ultimately this is part of the bringing in of the New World Order, which in turn is the bringing in of our kingdom, because, we already represent the kingdom of heaven, through the knowledge, and we just waiting on the physical part of the kingdom of heaven.
That Trump is playing here in Chicago. So rather than say, oh, we don't want any feds here, he's saying bring more, right? He's basically like calling his bluff, right? A spokesperson for the ATF said, quote, ATF is exploring various options as we are committed to furthering law enforcement efforts in Chicago. One of those options is to send additional agents to Chicago on permanent transfers. They say the ATF is still early in the process of developing strategies and will be prepared to discuss these options further once plans are finalized. So Chicago, as you know, is a super, super Democrat stronghold, Obama's hometown, and now Donald Trump is working right there in their backyard to help them. See, it doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. He understands, as you may have seen in his clip when he talked about this thing, 800 deaths. 800 deaths in Chicago. Thousands of people shot by guns. And Chicago has the strictest gun laws. Some of the strictest gun laws in the country. It just goes to show that those gun laws don't do anything. So now Donald Trump, making good on his word, sending in the feds to Chicago. Now, one of the ATF agents did make a point to say this is sort of unusual. They don't normally send that many agents on a permanent station. They would normally send a strike force, a task force into a city, and they would be there for 60 to 90 days. But the fact of the matter is Trump's sending a permanent force there, which shows, I think there's, yeah, they said that there's, I think, 30 or 60 now currently. But it just goes to show that Trump is taking this problem very, very seriously. And I think that Rahm Emanuel is not too pleased. What are your thoughts? Comment below. Subscribe for updates if you like what we're doing. Give us a thumbs up and share this report on your social networks. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi. Real quick, before you go, I want to remind you to go to your...
All right. I'm gonna start off with this scripture. This is Amos chapter 5. Verse 18. This is woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, to what end it is for you. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. And that's the point, man. The day of the Lord is going to be nothing but darkness, man. You know, you got Israel, you know, can't wait till so-called Jesus Christ come back. But they don't even know that the day of the Lord, when the Lord come back, is going to be nothing but destruction. It says, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? Right, so there is no escaping, you know, from what's to come in any one of these cities. But they're gonna keep sending the military down there. They're gonna keep, you know, preparing their police officers and doing their test drills until that time come when they actually have to lock down Chicago, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 6. Wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them, and a wolf of the evening shall spoil them. And that's already been happening. Esau police force been killing Jake out there in Chicago. A leopard shall watch over their cities. Every one that goeth out, and that's Esau, that leopard that's watching over their cities, man, their police force. It says, everyone that goeth out thence shall be torn in pieces, because their transgressions are many, and their backslidings are increased. All right, so Jake gonna you know, get fucked up in that time, man. Well, Jake already getting fucked up, but it's gonna be worse. The worst is yet to come. All this preparation they doing, and all these police officers and police forces going down ain't for nothing, man. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols. That's talking about the RFID chip. But that burning wrath, it's talking about them FEMA troops, man, and them troops that's gonna persecute Jake and put Jake in concentration camps. And they that consent unto them shall be held in derision and in reproach, and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Okay, let me see. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Right. And you got brothers down there in Chicago. You got the Chicago camp down there and stuff, man. So, you know, all that they doing in Chicago, that preparation, the Lord got his man preparing for shit like this, you know, to be tested. Because it's gonna happen to it's gonna happen damn near everywhere, man. But that's it for the lesson. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai. Double honor to the elders and apostles that's doing the truth and sincerity. It's like it. Double honor to the elders and apostles, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.